watch manufacturer that I've included, but certainly Waltham and Elgin are good choices too for the budget watch collector. But I think Hamilton is a really good choice right now because they're undervalued. They were, I think, the finest watch that was made in America, beating out Elgin and Waltham for quality, and they were certainly more expensive watches in their day also. You probably know this, founded in 1892 in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. They closed their production facility in 1969 in Lancaster, and today they're owned by the Swatch Group. Many models in the $100 to $150 price range. Very, like I said, very undervalued in my opinion. On the left is a Webster from the early 30s. I sold that one for $200. Barton in the middle is a 14 karat solid gold watch that I sold for $500. So vintage gold watches are a very good value right now, even with the high price of gold. The watch on the right is a Bolton, one of Hamilton's more popular models. I made it for over 10 years. Nice gold-filled examples can easily be found for $200 and sometimes under. Okay, next. Longines. Very nice brand. Back in its day, still is today. Although I think the vintage watches were quite spectacular. They were founded in 1832. They were one of the first companies to make men's wristwatches. They were a very early adopter, while other companies were still waiting because they weren't quite sure if men's wristwatches were going to be a fad or not. Today they're owned by the Swatch Group. If you like collecting a brand that has a lot of history connected to it that you can look up and get excited about, their history is well documented. Especially their watches made for famous explorers like Lindbergh, Byrd, and others. Many affordable models, including the flagship, which is shown at left. That, to me, is one of the most beautiful vintage watches out there. They usually have an embossed sailing ship on the back of them. There's a rose gold one on the left-hand side there that I think I sold for $600. Other models include the Ultrachron, the Admiral, the Conquest. Chronographs, meanwhile, are pretty pricey. They're clearly over the $1,000 mark and sometimes approaching even $2,000. But they're very nice. Longines was one of the few companies that actually made their own chronograph caliber movement. I would avoid mechanical models made in the late 60s to about 1985. During the beginning of what I call the Swiss crisis, they tried to make their watches on the cheap to try to compete with their lower quality competitors. Very nice one.